15 have Arsenal played a league match in these parts, and in the interim, Oakwell has staged few more important games than this. Those who are uncommitted, and there aren't many, have a dilemma whether to add their backing to the popular support for Arsenal's title push or to cheer for Barnsley, whose presence has added so much to this Premiership season. The Barnsley team shows one notable absentee. Leading scorer Ashley Ward has gone down with a very painful kidney infection and is only fit enough to be on the bench. Clint Marcel takes his place. Arsenal are without Ray Parlour through suspension, hence a start for David Platt. Martin Keown returns at the back. Ian Wright will play in the reserves on Monday. And while Arsenal appear to hold all the aces, Barnsley have their own in Neil Redfern, the top-scoring midfield player in the Premiership. And bridging the gap between Arsenal's last league visit and this one is 93-year-old Frank Moore, who saw his first game here in 1914. He can't recall for certain that he saw Harry Tufnell's winner for Barnsley 83 years ago, but thinks he probably did. The referee is leading the life of Riley, in name at least. Arsenal have won their last 7 league games. The club record is 10, set in 1987. And it would have been 12, but for a penalty scored by Danny Wilson, then at Luton Town. Trying to get the better of Winterburn, and he's done so to the extent of winning a corner. It really is a tough job for the Norwegian. He's used to having Ashley Ward alongside him, and as you can see, there isn't much height available to Barnsley from these set pieces. One of the taller players, Redfern, is their corner taker. Tinkler didn't meet it properly. Bergkamp. Guilty of pulling back Tinkler. Tinkler is playing despite a sciatic nerve problem which is causing him great pain and is a long way short of match fit. But he's desperate to get in South Africa's World Cup squad and equally desperate to help Barnsley out of their relegation troubles. Now, from this sort of position, Neil Redfern is a master. The angle wouldn't necessarily favour a direct shot on goal. So what can he conjure up? It is direct. It does take something fairly special to beat the England goalkeeper. Shortage of vocal encouragement for the home team. The last time these two sides played a league match at Oakwell, the gate receipts totaled £123. Adams. Petit. Overmars. Found Tinkler snapping in at him, but Bergkamp has escaped with the ball. It's Bergkamp! It's wonderful! What a magnificent strike from the Dutchman. No backlift, no threat. Don't you believe it? Could any other player in the Premiership score like that from there? It's a knife to the heart of Barnsley. But what a moment of aesthetic pleasure from Dennis Bergkamp. His 22nd goal of the season. Barnard. Viertoft. Back heel for Bullock. His intentions were read by Vieira. And now Bergkamp. This is where Arsenal are so incisive, and there's only one Barnsley defender back. Anelka's pass to Vieira, and surely it must be 2 from Overmars. All the hard work done for him. And a sort of miss that will haunt him through the summer months if Arsenal don't win today. Almost too deliberate. That should have been an assist for a goal from Vieira. Platt. More holes beginning to appear in the Barnsley rearguard now. This is Anelka. Bergkamp's available. Anelka was just half caught. Then tried the shot himself. Platt! Struck very meaterly by the former England captain. And with his left foot as well. At the moment, Arsenal are dominating. Fjørtoft. They couldn't find Marcel. Moses. Barnard took it in his stride. Now he can crack them. He has cracked it, and Seaman's made a fine save. First time, really, that David Seaman has been called upon. Space opened up invitingly for the left wing-back, and that was a good plunging stop to deny a man who scored 12 goals for Bristol City last season. So he does pack a punch. This is Redfern. Petit's header out. Eden. Keogh with a towering header. Fjørtoft. Now Tinkler. Appeals for handball. Tinkler a second time. Much easier for Seaman. Quite how Danny Wilson manages to look impassive on an occasion such as this. There's something of a mystery. De Zeu struggling to stay with Bergkamp. Half-time arrives with the Premiership leaders in fairly fine fettle, thanks to one sublime moment from their leading goal scorer, a player who's had such an impact for them throughout the season, and who today has scored a goal, the quality of which perhaps even surpassed the couple that he scored against Barnsley at Highbury back in October. And if you saw those two goals, there is little higher praise than that. Half-time at Oakwell, Barnsley 0, Arsenal 1. So Barnsley face one of the hardest current tasks in Premiership football, which is to breach this Arsenal backline that has conceded 2 goals in the last 11 and a half Premiership matches. Arsene Wenger retaking his seat for the second half. Quiet and unassuming, yet on the evidence of the last 19 months, remarkably effective. Overmars. Forward for Anelka. Anelka could finish it here if he can keep his footing. There's a wonderful tackle by Moses. Still the danger isn't away. It's David Platt. Well, Platt had the final effort, but it was A.D. Moses who saved the day for Barnsley with a stunningly good challenge to deny Nicola Anelka. The Barnsley defence was split open, but look at the way that Moses kept his feet and kept his cool and forced Arsenal back away from goal. Vieira. Now Dixon. Bergkamp. Winterburn. Arsenal have seldom looked in trouble. This is Anelka. Now Overmars. Now Anelka, who's escaped, and Watson has made the save that time, and the second time is helped out by the top of the frame of the goal. That could have been curtains for Barnsley. Anelka shaped as if to shoot, exchanged passes with Overmars. Fine stop first time around, and maybe Watson and Barnsley had earned their luck. Danny Wilson must feel helpless. He's said what he can, he's sent on Ashley Ward, now he can only watch. Fjørtoft doesn't always seem to be quite as alert as perhaps Barnsley would wish him to be. Bozancic. And it's easy to criticise when you're faced with a defence as effective as Arsenal's. They're not bad on the break either. Anelka calling for it, but he's straight offside. Overmars might go it alone. He's round to Zeu. It's Overmars, and it's Jones who got there ahead of Anelka. It's a corner, but really it should have been a second goal. And it's not the first time that Overmars has wasted an opportunity. In truth, he created it all himself. Jones covered well. Bergkamp's kick. Bullock. Trouble for Barnsley is that the ball is going to come straight back at them. Dixon. Anelka. Basancic. Tries to make a name for himself, having come on as a substitute. Redfern. Ward. And the block has fallen nicely for Eden, and then the flag is up for offside. Referee plays a good advantage. Overmars. Bergkamp to the left, Anelka to the right. I just sense that Arsenal could play like this all day. Lead set by the captain, and echoed by so many of his colleagues. Basancic. Barnard, first time cross. Redfern will use Eden. And now will go in the box himself. Winterburn got the block on it. And Arsenal are dealing more than competently with everything that Barnsley throw at them. And now Vieira could escape himself. Someone surely has to make a tackle, but they haven't! Well, Barnsley had, what, 60 yards in which to make a challenge on Patrick Vieira, and singularly failed to do so. Picking up the ball inside his own half, he beat Zeu, and then it was down to Jones and/or Bullock to stop him. And it was only down to the fact that he was marginally off target that they didn't pay the full price. Petit. Slightly awkward in the header. Basancic. Dixon. Ray. Platt. So many chances are coming Arsenal's way, you feel sure that one of them will go in soon. It's Overmars, it's 2-0. And it's another mighty step towards the Premiership title. Overmars, I suppose, is the mark by which so many wingers should be judged in the Premiership, playing a more central role, and not even David Watson could halt him this time. Arsenal have been threatening for much of the second half, and finally they've struck. He's heading for an 8th successive Premiership win. It is Danny Wilson heading for the First Division. Bergkamp. Ray. Now Lee Dixon. Bergkamp, Platt, Ray all inside the penalty area. Dixon fancies one himself! Well, it's 18 months since he last scored, and so few have been his goals down the years, relatively speaking, that would probably have been by far the best of his career. Hendry. Bullock. Now Basancic. Ashley Ward. Basancic. It's all a little bit crowded, but that's Redfern. That's his range. It's been a wonderful season for them. Just to be in the Premiership. Their desire to extend one season into 2 is looking rather unlikely at this stage. Adams. The referee checks his watch. He's Wrapped the cord of his whistle round his wrist, but still there's time for Bullock to attack for Barnsley. Until he's met by Vieira, who has ruled the roost in that central area of the field. Bergkamp. Well, the final whistle brings a conclusion to a consummate performance by Arsenal. Arsene Wenger shaking the hand of his opposite number, Danny Wilson, who has, of course, very different priorities. Mark Overmars scoring the second goal to secure victory after his fellow countryman Dennis Bergkamp had opened the scoring with a wonderful curling shot from the edge of the penalty area. An 8th successive Premiership victory for Arsenal, their first ever in the league at Oakwell. They're now within just 2 wins of the title. They're beginning to breathe the sweet air of Premiership success. Whilst for Barnsley, so admirable, so combative, so likeable, well, they're now existing on football's equivalent of a life support machine. The pulse remains, but reality and romance are 2 very different beasts.
How big a hurdle have you cleared today?
It was an important one and a very difficult one, because when you play against a team who battles to survive, and it was such a nervous tension today for Barnsley, because they had, of course, to win the game to stay in the Premier League. So it was an important one.
And 2 more wins will do it for you.
Let's go to the next one. It's what we did until now was convenient for us. So I think we just have to keep our concentration and go to the next one. Play at Highbury on Wednesday night, and that, of course, will be an important one again.
Is it difficult at times, though, to take it game by game? Is there not a little bit of your mind that thinks further ahead to the potential prize?
No, not at all. I live my life day by day, actually, and I won't be thinking about it tomorrow when I'm out with my kids, actually. So I don't get carried away. I know next week might never come, and it's quite simple, game by game, day by day. I used to only have 2 days in a week, Wednesday and Saturday. I don't have that today. I've got the other days as well, so it's easy.
We've all seen Barnsley during the year, and they can play this sort of football. They can play, they can put you under pressure sometimes, and that's exactly what we found in the first half. But I think after the goal, we created a lot of chance, and we should have finished it earlier.
People have said you had to beat Tottenham or you had to win today, but really, you have to win at Leicester, don't you now?
Yes, we do, yeah. I think that's vitally important now. Whether the tactics will change slightly, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we do have to win the game, without a shadow of a doubt.
What do you think? You're playing 14 men?
18 defenders at the moment. We can't get a clean sheet.
Well, formidable stuff today from Arsenal, and Championship stuff.
I thought it was absolutely awesome. I mean, they've gone to Barnsley, bumpy pitch, Barnsley fighting for their lives, and they gave a controlled, assured performance, and terrific going forward, terrific defensively. They've lost 2 goals in 12 games. Even I can't complain about that. I mean, and they are really, really solid. I mean, the back four and the keeper are terrific, but you look right down the spine of the team. The keeper, Seaman, Tony Adams, the captain, centre-back. In the middle, 2, Vieira and Petit, who are virtually, for me, the dream ticket. They get up and down well, and also they get their footing just in front of the back four, and we'll watch it all here. This is the keeper. Very, very difficult to beat. Makes that look easy. Tony Adams, for me, inspirational captain, gets in a good position, reads it, and then just comes away, plays it simple. I thought Vieira's performance was out of this world today. He just, watch him press the play here. He did that all afternoon, as well as being great in the ball. Again, gets in, runs 10, 15 yards, makes a great tackle. Petit, on the other hand, shows he can tackle and play. And they just get a trouble with a good play. Winterburn, first time pass. Goes ahead, it comes inside, and they're away, they're on the break again. And it's absolutely formidable.
You talked about the strong defensive side, but the vertebrae at the top aren't bad either.
No, the Bergkamp ain't bad either. I think Anelka's come on leaps and bounds since the start of the season. I think he's definitely a player for the future, but certainly they rely on Bergkamp. I mean, technically, I've said before, the best player in Britain, and he just keeps producing the goods, goal after goal after goal, and they're all sensational. But for me, I think we see him so many times coming his right foot and bury it. Here, the main thing for Barnsley defence, keep him on his left foot, because he'll just come inside and it's all over. It's in the back, and that was a crucial goal, the first goal. Wonderful goal.
Well, Danny Wilson said there he's desperate for clean sheets, but The defending's let them down all season, hasn't it, realistically?
They won't get a clean sheet playing like that. I mean, we've said many, many times about pushing up, holding the line and trying to play offside. And for me, it's suicide if it goes wrong, because there's no room for error at all. If you push up the pitch, try and play offside and it goes wrong, you're in big trouble. Again, a great tackle from Vieira, and now they're hitting the break. Now, we watch Moses here. He's got his hand up here trying to play offside. When it's played through, the zoo is 20 yards behind him. You wouldn't see this in pub football. 3 against 1. I mean, the finishing is pub football standard as well, but it's suicide defending, it really is. And that's the reason why it'll go down.
And at the other end, title race, is it over?
Well, it's never over until you get the medal in your hand. That's enough said.
Chicking away from that one. Now, who'd have thought at the start of the season that Tottenham against Newcastle would be a relegation clash? Well,
Next month, Lauren Taylor heard them.
Never mind the football, this is Arsenal's bid for top position in a different chart. The FA Cup song battle is underway.
How do you train for this one then?
Train, I keep out the way. My voice isn't the best, and I think the producer said to me early on, keep out the way and go out the back.
With the proceeds going to charity, the players are happy to join in, but no plans yet to give up the day job.
We hide behind the fact that we're not used to doing it, so we try to bravado it up a bit so we don't embarrass ourselves. I think the record will do that anyway.
And this is the rival bid from Newcastle.
Arsenal have gone for a 70s sound. I think it's probably maybe a little too cheesy for most people. Newcastle's sound is a little more contemporary, and of course they've got children in the video. It'll warm the hearts and their supporters as well, and I think it's probably an easier song to sing along to. So for me, Newcastle win the battle of the FA Cup songs.
But the score that really matters will be after 90 minutes at Wembley in a fortnight's time. Lauren Taylor, News at 10.
Arsenal were left to take advantage of their games in hand and saw Derby County as their next victims. The tension at Highbury was tangible, and so was Derby's presence. Only 13 minutes had gone, and Nicholas Anelka appeared to be manhandled by Christian Daly. A penalty was awarded. What the Derby defender failed to realise was that referee Neil Barry was in the perfect position, and no more than a matter of inches away from the incident. Dennis Bergkamp took the kick. Mark Poom was determined to spoil the party. More disappointment was soon to follow, as Bergkamp limped off the field and out of the championship race with a pulled hamstring. By now, Arsenal's nerves were being stretched to breaking point. Their failure to convert the spot kick and the loss of their star striker, all in a matter of minutes, could have had a devastating effect. But then, another foreigner came to the rescue. Emmanuel Petit's 34th minute strike was only his second goal of the season and enough to break the deadlock. At this stage, Arsenal's French contingent seemed to be dominating the game. Patrick Vieira producing this devastating strike which appeared to knock Poom off his feet. The Gunners began the second half in the same manner in which they finished the first, in search of goals. Emmanuel Petit was once again at the heart of Arsenal's every move. Derby's Estonian goalkeeper Mark Poom had to be at his very best, and he was. However, there were fewer chances in the second half, a feature that reduced the pressure on the manager's nerves.
The first half was more tense than the second one, because in the first half you could feel that the game could have gone both ways, and I was a little bit worried with the injuries. But in the second half we controlled better. Of course, you cannot say that in this kind of situation you have no nervous tension, and that's normal. There's a big one, but when you see that your players do everything to be successful, you just have to respect that and to wait and hope for the best.
Coach Wenger will also be hoping that his star performer Dennis Bergkamp makes a speedy recovery.
Yeah, it's too soon to say how long it will take, but I don't expect me to play the next 3 games, the last league games.
So it sounds to me as though you're likely to miss the championship run-in, but there's an FA Cup final.
Yeah, that's what we're aiming for. It's still early, I think, to say something about it, but that's about 2.5 weeks from now. So yeah, it's the only thing I can aim for at the moment.
So Carling's Player of the Month takes Arsenal within 3 points of the title. A mere formality?
Oh, don't say that. You know, I remember in France, you know, for the World Cup in United States. You know, we needed only 1 point in 2 games, and we lose at home against Israel and Bulgaria. So, no, we are professional. We know that if we want to win, if we want to go through, we have to be concentrated until the end.